What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to be breaking down the China passing concept. Going to be going over what it is, the progressions, some of the variations kind of off of this play, and then a little bonus play at the very end of a cool idea that I saw to kind of build on this concept. So, just before we get started, please make sure that you like the video, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. All that stuff is greatly appreciated. All right, let's get started with China. So I'm gonna call this China, but as you guys know, football terminology is not universal. So you'll hear this called China, you'll hear it called Dusty, you'll hear it called Y corner. Coaches across the landscape call it a bunch of different things, but really what China is, you get two in breakers out of a 3-by-1 concept, and then you get a corner route from the number 3 wide receiver. So kind of going to show you guys this first clip from the Colts game before we get into some others. So on this play, particularly Gunnar Olszewski is going to be running this first kind of in breaker at 4 to 6 yards coming towards the quarterback. Deontay Johnson out wide, going to be running about a 6-yard in breaker with George Pickens running the corner route to the pylon. So unfortunately, this one ends up incomplete because Pickens tries to one hand this ball for no reason. But you guys can kind of see, the problems that this can give a defense. Uh, the Colts are going to bring a slot blitz with their nickel cornerback, and this is going to basically play out like cover zero. The way that this is traditionally read is this first in breaker from the slot from the number 2 receiver is going to be the number 1 progression for the quarterback, and then he's going to work to the outside receiver as the number 2, and then this corner route will be the number 3 in the progression. So you can read this multiple different ways too, like in Kyle Shanahan's system. They give this receiver the option to run a post if you get middle field open coverage. So anytime this we get a split safety look, that receiver has the option to run a post to where the quarterback can throw that as an alert before the snap, as long as he confirms the post snap coverage and there's no rotation by the safeties. But this particular play, they're going to banjo this. And what I mean by that is they're just going to switch responsibilities. So you see this opposite field safety kind of come crashing down. He's flat footed running towards the quarterback. Pickett kind of moves off of his first read quickly. Deontay Johnson does a good job crossing this outside corner's face on the end breaker, but he's still pretty tightly covered, even though, Pickett might have been able to fit that in closely. But, really, Pickens does a really good job at the top of the route, kind of selling this almost inside and snapping this guy off and running to the pylon. This is a really good throw by Pickett, too. Um, Pickens just needs to get 2 hands on the ball here, and we got a touchdown. Just one of the reasons that I like this concept is it has answers for different coverages or different leverage. It has answers against the blitz, and I'll kind of show you guys what I mean by this. But everything happens in the vision of the quarterback, so his helmet really doesn't even have to move because all the receivers are running into his eyesight. And I'll kind of show you guys exactly what I mean by that. But that he is hot here. So technically, if you do get some type of blitz that you aren't able to account for, you would throw it to this underneath receiver right here, the first in breaker. And then, but what I mean by receivers working into his vision. So you'll see Johnson coming into his line of sight and then Pickens right behind him. So it's only a half field read really for the quarterback, which makes it, really easy on a young signal caller. So the Steelers ran this, they spanned this play in 2021 with Ben at quarterback. And it was pretty successful. They got a lot of big plays off of this and the variations that kind of come with it. Here it is against the Broncos. They're in 12 personnel. 12 personnel keeps the Denver Broncos in their base, so they get their base 3-4. The Steelers end up getting a awesome matchup with Chase Claypool in the slot against Von Miller. Von Miller's a lot of things, but he's not a cover guy. He's not really a guy that you really want coming across the formation and trying to check a guy that's 6'3", 6'4", whatever Chase is that runs a 4-4. So kind of see the same concept here. Chase is going to run the first in breaker, the shallow in with Von Miller in coverage. You see Deontay running the in right behind him with, I think, Eric Ebron running the corner route. This is against 2 man. That's the coverage that the Broncos are playing. But this is also good against like Tampa 2 coverage as well, because this middle linebacker in Tampa 2 would be turning towards the trip side and running up the field, leaving this void in the middle of the field. So anytime you get two man or Tampa 2, this is a good beater for that as well. But see Ben put it on him. Big yards after the catch. Nice job by Claypool making a couple guys miss. And then you get an explosive play out of, a 5 yard end breaker. Here it is against the Raiders in 2021. The ball actually goes to the opposite side of the field. And I just kind of wanted to show some of these examples to kind of give you guys some of the things that you can do on the backside of this. It doesn't really matter what you tag to the other side of this concept. The Steelers would tag a couple different things. I'll show y'all some examples. But here, what happens is, Ben basically just alerts this go route on the left side of the field. And basically, all that means is, if you like the matchup, you take it. If you feel like that, you've got a one-on-one out here with no safety help over the top, press, bump, and run coverage. Nice job by Claypool, outside release, and a really good throw by Ben for an explosive play down the field. So they actually ran this play. So that was first down, I believe, or it gives them a first down, excuse me. And then this is 3rd and 10 in the same drive. You actually get it. They're running, the same China concept up at the top of the screen. They are running what I would probably call a variation of dragon, like slant flat or slant option with the running back. But Ben just likes the matchup here. Man coverage. He gets Najee Harris kind of on a option route or a choice route with this middle linebacker. Hits him in the flat in stride. Najee kind of does the rest. Nice job breaking a tackle there. And like I said, the Steelers ran this a ton in 2021. Ben was very comfortable with it. They would call it in the no huddle. They would call it really throughout the game. But really, it's mostly used in the NFL in the red zone, and you kind of see that come to fruition here. So this is what I talk about, a variation of what I would think of as China. So if China's, your fastball, you've got to have changeups to the concept to make the defense stay on balance. And what I mean by like off balance is just so that they don't key in on like what the receivers are doing when you get to certain formations. So nice kind of change up here. Really good throw by Ben. We'll kind of break this one down. But, as we get through the route itself, they make this look like China, but it's actually not. So again, you see this down here at the bottom of the screen. Deontay Johnson's kind of going to do a little stutter and go. He's going to fake like he's running this shallow end breaker, and then he's going to run the double move kind of up the sideline. This is Ray McLeod in the slot here. He is going to run kind of what I would call a whip route. So coming underneath. So that looks like the first end breaker on China, but he breaks in and then back out. And then Claypool, instead of running the corner, we get this split field safety look. This is what I was talking about earlier against middle field open coverage. Chase just does a good job faking the corner route and then bursting in between the seams here. Nice throw by Ben. Something else, just, having a veteran quarterback gives you the ability to kind of run some creative stuff on offense because they're just really good at manipulating zone defenders. So you'll see Ben's eyes locate this backside safety who's playing what's called a tricks call, basically meaning that he's reading number 3 vertical. But Ben does a good job holding him to the other side of the field. We get the corner route over here as well to try to widen that safety as much as possible. Good throw with anticipation on the money for a touchdown. And I'm sure you guys probably all remember this last play against the Chargers. Deontay Johnson with an amazing toe tapping grab. Another 3-by-1 kind of look here. It's actually the same exact play we just saw. It's just ran from a little bit different personnel. Awesome route by Johnson. Awesome throw by Ben. So we'll just kind of break this one down one more time. So Ebron's going to run kind of the seam route up the middle to split the safeties. You see Freiermuth, and as the number 2 wide receiver, he's going to be running a whip route back to the outside. And Johnson does a really good job. This cornerback has inside leverage, does a good job kind of selling this underneath in breaker on the under. jab step, plant foot, put the foot in the ground, get upfield. Awesome throw by Ben off his back foot. Really nice catch by Johnson, getting both feet in bounds in the corner of the end zone. And so the Steelers obviously have the fastball. They got the changeup. I just wanted to show this kind of variation just because I found this play on Twitter and it was just a really cool kind of way to kind of play off the China concept. So um, this is the Jaguars against the Chargers in that comeback victory in the playoffs. But this is a what looks like a really traditional kind of China look. You see the 3-by-1 up top. Christian Kirk's going to be running the corner route. Got the two in breakers. But on this one, they actually send Evan Ingram kind of on a like an in and nod almost. And what this does, it's really cool. So the Chargers are playing basically a 3-over-2 triangle on these two inside receivers. Um, Kirk's going to burst up. When Kirk bursts up, you've got this defender playing the first outbreaker. You got this defender playing the first inbreaker, and then you've got the safety playing the first vertical. So Kirk ends up clearing out two defenders right here. This linebacker is going to try to jump this first inbreaker, which would normally be the number one in the progression. You see Lawrence do a good job just standing firm in the pocket. This dude's off balance. Lawrence throws a dime, kind of back shoulder in between the safeties. And what I like about this look too, kind of similar to what I talked about a minute ago, these two corner routes from Kirk and Jones do a good job of just widening these safeties just enough. But a really good throw there from Lawrence. And just as kind of a spoiler alert, you guys will probably see some Jags or Trevor Lawrence stuff on the channel here coming soon because I've been studying a lot of Doug Peterson scheme stuff. So definitely want to get some of my thoughts on that offense. It's a really fun one to watch. So if you guys made it to the end of this video, I really appreciate it. Hopefully this was somewhat informative. Definitely want to get into some more X's and O's, some more film study type stuff just before the preseason rolls around. So if you guys have things that you guys want me to break down, passing concepts, defenses, blitzes, anything like that, I've got some ideas coming up. But if you guys have specific stuff that you want to see videos on, drop it in the comments. Drop a comment. Let me know what you thought of the concept, what you guys think of the video. And then just make sure that you like and subscribe on your way out. I will holler at you guys next time. Peace and love.